Yes, yes, yes. We are here live and in living color once again. Good day to all of you from wherever you're at, wherever you're going, whoever you're being, whoever you're being with. This is the time, the right space, right now, this elevated time. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. I see we have lots of people in the room, lots of people in the house, lots of people in the building, on the building, and with the building, building a new life. And that's what today's subject is about. Building. We are building a new life. And this is part 2 of our series about transformation and about you uh, taking the effort yourself to change your life, to create the new life that you desire. Once again, we have the powerful, mystical, mastress, the the female teacherish. Teacherish, is that a new word? I will make up a word.
Yeah, I know, me too.
So we are honored to have here today, once again, Iyanla Vanzant. Welcome, Iyanla. How are you?
I am so blessed. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I'm so energized. I'm good. Thank you.
I want to make sure everybody can hear us and see us. If you can hear us and see us, put yes, hear you, see you. Put that in the chat so we can make sure that everybody is on live. And because we're about to take off, this ship is ready to go. Are you ready to go? Are
I'm
you ready to live the next life? I know you're ready. Yes. The people are saying yes, yes, yes. People here from all over the world. The last episode was amazing. Folks are still watching it. We're glad to be able to be here at this time and honored and thankful and grateful to be here at this time, honoring our ancestors, honoring the stardust that we're made of, and honoring ourselves and our families and all of you. So we're grateful and thankful to be here right now, live. And Iyanla, would you like to do a meditation prayer or something to open us up?
sure would. Let's do a grounding breath. Let me get myself situated. And I would invite everyone to just sit firmly on your buttocks so that your spine is erect. If you can, put your feet flat on the floor, or if you're sitting in lotus position, cross-legged, just make sure that your spine is erect. And the way that you can do that is make believe there's a little string at the base of your skull and just pull the string up. And that way your shoulders won't move, but your spine will become erect. And then just find the rhythm of your breath, your inhale and your exhale. Your inhale and your exhale. And relax into that. And we're going to inhale to the count of 4, hold for 2, and exhale for 6 so that we get all of it out. Okay, let's inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. Savor the life. And exhale through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and relax. Relax your shoulders, relax your belly. And here's the secret. Relax your tongue in your mouth. And your whole body will relax. And now let's inhale again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. Savor the breath. And exhale through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and relax. And in this presence, this space, we just say thank you. And we breathe in and drop it. We breathe in and we drop it. And we give thanks for breath. That's the distinction between being on this side and being on the other side. It's just a breath. Good. How's that?
Whew. That's amazing. You may have to take over. I may have to go
Go
Lay
lay down, right?
down for a minute so I can do some star traveling. Wow.
So simple. If we could just, and when I was given that breath, I was told to do it every 3 hours, 3 times every 3 hours throughout the day. So I set an alarm on my phone that every 3 hours, and I start at 6 a.m. So 6 a.m., I set an alarm, 9 a.m., noon, 3 p.m., 6 p.m., 9 p.m. And whenever I hear that alarm, whatever I'm doing, I just stop and do 3 of those breaths. And you'd be surprised how much conflama it eliminates throughout your day, how much confusion and chaos just to tap in 3 breaths every 3 hours throughout the day. It is amazing.
Well, when I started studying the subconscious mind, I realized that, our breath is on automatic. It's controlled by the subconscious. And the subconscious is mostly playing back old files, old
Yes.
experiences constantly. And by taking control of your breath, the subconscious stops playing old files and it says, be in the moment. The captain is taking over because the conscious mind is the captain of the ship.
Yeah.
It is in control.
Yeah.
And when you do that, the subconscious turns down for a minute and it says, record this new event and put that in the file cabinet.
Yes.
So just taking those spaces, those small vacations during the day will actually break your day up and bring you from the place that you were into the now. So that presence and being present, gives you the power to be the presenter.
Yeah.
See, a lot of times when we're speaking, we're totally not there. We're speaking a lot of times from the past, about the past,
Yeah.
with the past. And the past is here, right? And the past was like a ghost. It'll take over. So you think that you're speaking from your nowness, and a lot of times you're speaking from the past. So by just being in your nowness, thinking, feeling, and speaking in your nowness brings you into a place where you can really absorb what's happening right now. We're at a time where we're in a place in space, they say, that we've never been before. We have never been here before. History is not repeating itself.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's repeating itself is people and their activities. That's the repeat. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But our planet is speeding up. The vibration of every molecule is moving faster, every atom. Events are happening quicker. A lot of times, what we're doing is predicting. We have a predictive mind. We predict what we think is going to happen based on the past. But by taking those breaths 3 times a day, you stop predicting and you start allowing yourself to be yourself right now in the moment. That's beautiful. Thank you.
And isn't it amazing that people will say, I don't have time to stop and breathe?
It's not deep.
And you can do it anywhere. And because we're talking about tiers today, the level of development, I think one of the first levels of development is discipline. The discipline to be able to do something self-supportive, self-honoring, self-loving throughout the day. 3 breaths every 3 hours throughout the day. Because there's a lesson in A Course in Miracles that supports what you're saying. I think it's lesson number 9 that says, I see nothing as it is now. I see nothing as it is now. I only see things as they were because, of course, that's what we know. And what happens when we're not in the present moment, we go into our file cabinet and look for the prescription or the formula or the preconceived or the habitual responses to whatever's going on. And we're not in the present moment. That breath will keep us in the present moment. And if we want to really transform our lives to catch up, to be in alignment with the vibration and the frequency that is right now, we have to develop discipline to do those things, again, that are self-supportive, self-honoring, and self-loving. How loving can it be to be present to, aware of, conscious with your breath?
Woo! And it's amazing that something that simple can really help.
Yeah.
because there's levels to this thing, and that's why today we're talking about tiers as far as levels, and we're also talking about terraces, which are places that you set things as gardens you can have on a terrace, or you can put things on your patio and create a terrace there. There's levels to this thing called consciousness and conscious awareness, or whatever you'd like to call it. And it's not just about reading a book. Sometimes you read a book and you, oh my God, that was it, I got it. Or you go to a lecture and you go buy some clothing that you think is the spiritual clothing. You get a spiritual hairdo or some indigenous, thing, a rock, and you feel like that's it. I got it. I'm there. But when you're climbing, winners know that when they reach the top, they have to find another mountain, another pinnacle. Otherwise, you don't make it, because the law of rhythm says that you will always be tested. The law of rhythm says that there's always going to be more. Things are changing constantly. Everything is tied to its opposite. So we don't get to some place and say, I got it. I know. I'm conscious. I don't eat this anymore because, and then we start talking about other people and what they're doing and how they don't have it. But the level that we're at, right? And I realize that no matter how high we go, there's somebody higher than us.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how low we go, there's somebody lower than us. No matter how much you have, somebody else has less. You see? So once we get out of the ego that says, I'm at a certain level, I'm way down here and I can't come up. There's no way. I was born into this family. Nobody has anything. That's the level I'm at. So let's talk about these levels of awakening and traveling to the place of our desire. Let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about that a bit. What have you, and I know you teach on this. You had something, you talked about a house.
Yeah. In the meantime, that's exactly where I was going. You see, we are aligned.
Yes.
That was, oh my God, 25 years ago. I wrote In the Meantime. There's probably people on this in this gathering who aren't as old as that book. And that's the thing about the truth, is that it lives forever. But in the meantime, I talked about your life being like a house, and that you move through the levels of the house or the floors of the house so that you can develop what you need to develop, grow what you need to grow. And many of us live in the basement. And the issue of the basement is you've got a problem and you have no idea what it is. You have no idea what the issue is, what the imbalance is, what the problem is. And more likely than not, you think it's everybody else. So you're BNPing, you're blaming and projecting. You're a victim, you're putting it out there. People who live there at any level are in the basement. That's one level. Then the next level is the first floor. You know you have a problem. You know you're either being a certain way, thinking a certain way, doing a certain thing that causes a problem, but you have no idea what that problem is. What is it my thinking? Is it my being? In the basement, you don't even know you got a problem. At the first floor, you got a problem. You don't know what it is. On the second floor, you have a problem, you know what it is, but you don't know what to do about it. You don't know what to do about it. Then you get to that place between the second floor and the third floor, and you have a problem, you know what to do about it, but you don't do it. You start and stop. You hesitate. You don't complete. Yeah. So you know what the problem is. You know what to do about it. You just got to develop that discipline and the obedience. That's where faith and trust and all of that come in. Then there's the third floor where you know what the problem is, you know what to do about it, and you do it consistently. And through that work, then you move into the attic, which is where you're in your divine self. Now, the truth is, we're born in the attic. We are born our divine self. We're born knowing what to do. Of course, we don't have teeth. We're pooping on ourselves and somebody's carrying us around, imprinting their stuff on us, which takes us out of our divine identity and usually sends us down into the basement. So those are the levels. Not knowing that it's your stuff, boo. It's all about you, boo. Not knowing that. Then knowing it's about you, but not knowing what it is about you. Then there's knowing it's about you, knowing what it is about you, not knowing what to do about it. Then there's knowing what to do, what it is, knowing it's about you, knowing what to do about it, and not doing it consistently. Then there's knowing what it is, knowing what to do about it, doing it consistently so that you elevate to the highest level, which is your divine self, your I am, where your soul is in charge. The ego is over in the closet somewhere, and you're living your highest, most evolved self. Now, that attic, even though that's where we're born, because we're human, and like you said, we're going to be tested, there's always another level for us to get to. Unless you're a monk or, I won't even say a nun, those people that live in the Andes and just have totally rejected the world or moved away from the world, chances are most of us are in three: knowing what it is, knowing what to do about it, learning to do it consistently, no matter what shows up, that you keep moving. And you may hit that attic level and stay there a week and come back down, But those are the tiers. And I mean, or the levels, if you will, what we're calling TIERS. My biggest concern is for those level 2 people who know they got a problem, who know what the problem is, who know what to do about it, and then choose not to do it. Because you are responsible for the seeds that are sown into your soul. So not doing what you know you need to do is more detrimental than not knowing you need to do something.
Well, a lot of folks feel like they're born into a certain family, and they're born into a certain religion. They're born into a certain political group. They're born into a certain, neighborhood or a financial space. They're born into it. Like, this is the way it is. This is the way it is with my whole family, because they feel like they can't break out of that space.
Yeah.
How a person being at 2, how could they begin their day, right? Just let's take one day. This is day 1. They start tomorrow or today.
Mm-hmm.
What do they do right now to begin to angle themselves out of this thing about who they're related to and what is their birthright and why they can't go anyplace because of the family, because of their situation?
Have a vision. If you can't see it, you'll never be it. If you can't see it, you'll never be it. I was telling somebody a little while ago, for me growing up, I grew up in poverty and desperation and dysfunction and all manner of conglomeration. The good news for me was nobody taught me anything. I just was observing what was going on and giving it whatever meaning. But they didn't teach me, you got to do this, you can't do that. They didn't teach me about money. They didn't teach me about my body. They didn't teach me about sex. They didn't teach me about relationships. They didn't teach me anything. And so I had very little to unlearn. Most people are stuck at that 2 level because as opposed to learning, they have to unlearn some of that stuff. And the best way to unlearn it is to see beyond it. A vision will pull you forward, but you've got to be able to see beyond it. And then, for me, you've got to surrender that vision to something greater, grander than yourself, be it an angel, an ancestor, guardian, God, source, creator, because our humanness, our bloated human nothingness will get us nowhere. You have to create everything from the spiritual level, from the subconscious mind. And that's where the unlearning has to take place. Here's my one story I'll tell you. I don't know if I said this last time, I'll say it this time, about the Brillo Sopaz. Did I tell you about the Brillo Sopaz?
I think I remember something about the Brillos.
Yeah.
Do people even know what Brillo is today? They still have Brillo?
I know. Do people have pots? That's the question. Or are they just eating fast food? I don't really know. But my mom always used Brillo, the soap pads. And so, they're round and they're pink. And I was, on a very restricted income with my 3 babies. And I used to go to the store. And I went to the store and they had SOS soap pads on sale. They were cheaper than the Brillo. I tell you, I stood in that store and wept for being for I don't even know what the word is when you do something for moving beyond what I had been taught, which is use Brillo. I saw the SOS. I could have saved the 30 or 40 cents or whatever it was. But to go against what I had seen and been taught in that little bit, I was in the store weeping. And I finally bought, with my heart palpitating, bought the SOS soap pads because they were cheaper. Now, for me, that's a soap pad. But for some people, to go against, to defy what you've been taught about who you are, about who you can be, about who you're not, there's so much unlearning that has to go. And it's very, very difficult if you don't have a daily practice, if you're not really in touch with something greater than you. It is very, very difficult to defy family and ancestral patterns. I know you know this, Dr. B, but it's wired into our DNA.
Yes.
But what we're learning now is our thoughts and our emotions can impact and affect our DNA. And we can move out of some of those habitual patterns simply by thought. So I say, if you're willing to change, if you're ready to change on that first day, what is your vision? What is it that you want to be, do, and have? And can you see yourself in that? And then can you create the orgasm, the coming together of your mind and heart? Because that's what'll propel it forward. You can't just think it, you got to feel it. The masculine and the feminine, they've got to lock up. I call it making internal love. Those two things, and you got to be able to feel it. So feel that vision. And that's the only way you were going to move. You can't talk yourself out of it. You can't behave it. Now you can fake it till you make it, but at some point you got to make it. You got to make it happen.
Well, I always say we've got to learn to make love out of the things that are not love.
Yes.
So we got to look at the opposite. You see, everything is attached to its opposite.
Yes.
You couldn't have one state without the other. So
Yeah.
you can't have up without down. You can't have black without white. You can't have rich without poor. You have it all. But once you begin to, as you say, first see something, create in your mind, use your imagination, which is the most powerful thing. This is what did Einstein say? It's the only thing more powerful than science itself is imagination. And we look at that word imagination. Look how many words are in there.
Yeah.
Do yourself a little experiment. Look at how many words you can pull out of imagination.
Oh my
And one
God.
of them is I am a genie.
Yeah.
I'm a genie.
Yeah.
Your genes are the genies. So the magic carpet, that's your DNA on its side. You rub your body, you speak, you move, you do something, and the vapor pops out the top of your head, right? Which is the top of the bottle, the bati. The genie pops up and says, "What do you desire?" Every
Yes.
second of every day, your genes are asking you what do you desire. Now, if you look around you and you say, "This is what I am, this is what I have," you're basically saying you want more of that. This is my family. You know what I'm saying? We're poor, broke, lonely, crazy, and foolish, and alcoholics. We're all holics,
Yeah.
because we're hooked on that family and that tribal thing. It makes us stay. I remember going to my first Thanksgiving after I decided to stop eating certain foods, and at that point, I become a health zealot.
Yeah.
And everything they were pulling out at the meal, I was talking about what it was. It was hybridized. It was soaked in this. It had preservatives. I wouldn't even let the people eat. You know what I'm saying? They wanted. In fact, they stopped inviting me to these events because my ego was so in control. But they kept saying, "Boy, you was born this way. This is, and if your mama was here, she'd be ashamed of you right now. They're gonna tell me my mama, she done left, right? They're going to tell me what my mama would feel about the change and the transformation that I've had." And
Yeah.
people will attempt to browbeat you with that family stuff. And this is the way we are. This is how we do it on the East Side. This is how the Jenkins do it. You know what I'm saying? This is how the Swinesteins do it, or whatever. Is that a name, Swinestein? But once you find your courage, and I noticed earlier you were tapping on your chest. That is one way you shock yourself back into
Right.
your courage,
Yeah.
just like the gorillas do.
Yeah.
Because courage is the thing that's going to allow you the space to even have an imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Because your family would say, we're gonna tell you how to think. Look, voting is coming. This is who you're gonna vote for. If you don't vote for him, the enemy's gonna win. You know what I'm saying? All these ideas. We have these ideas about struggle. It's gonna be hard. Ain't no way in
As,
the world, ain't no way in the world you're gonna write how many books? Iyanla? How many books you gonna write? How you gonna be a public speaker? Look at your situation. You don't have this, you don't have that. And then they ask you, here's one of the questions. Who do you think you are?
that's it. That's the one. That's
Who
the
do you
one.
think you are?
And the appropriate answer to that is I am. That's it. I am. Oh, they used to get me about that one. I'm the first high school graduate in my family, the first college graduate in my family. I've got a law degree, I've got honorary degrees. And my family, I remember when I was going to college, I had 3 young children, and I was on public assistance, but I was also working. They can't get me for that now. So I can say I was working under the table and collecting public assistance because I could not live on my public assistance alone. And I remember when I got approved to go to college, to go to school, I went to Medgar Evers College in Brooklyn, New York. And I asked my family, would they keep my kids at night? Because I had to go to school in the evening. And they were like, what do you mean you going to college? How you going to college? Because I was 30. How are you going to college? I'm going on the bus at night. And they were like, we're not, you, you ain't going to no college. How you going to college? And, it was all of this stuff. And the bottom line is they wouldn't take my kids. So you know what I did? I took them with me. I took them to school with me. And they used to sit outside the classroom door. I took peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. They had their homework to do, and they were little stair steps. They must have been at that time 9, 7, and 5 when I went to school. And they sat in the hallway, and people, who are these kids out here? Where are these kids coming? Well, after a while, I would check on them every now and then at the class. And after a while, people would see them there and they would entertain them, some of the professors. And then there was the director of athletics, John Paul. His name was John Paul. He came to the doorway. He said, whose children are these sitting now? I said, they're mine. He said, can I take them down to the gym? And he took them down to the gym. So they would come to school. They'd go down to the gym with Dr. Paul. He had them putting the balls away and doing whatever. And because when you are committed, what you need will show up. What you need. At 30, I wasn't not gonna not go to college because I had kids. And I was not gonna leave my 9, 7, and 5-year-old home alone. And I couldn't afford a babysitter. So I took them with me. Many years later, well, just before I graduated, the college created daycare because I was a single mom. There were lots of single moms at Medgar Evers. So my point is this: when you are committed and you stay committed to doing that thing above the naysayers and the voices, what you need will show up. What you need, once the universe knows that you are serious, once the angels, the guardians, the ancestors, the guides know that you are serious, I swear it just shows up out of nowhere. It really will.
So that goes back to the genie. When you start generating this new idea, you have to become it. You have to focus on it no matter how many people are attempting to pull you down. You see, this is why eagles don't hang out with pigeons. You see what I'm saying? They don't do it. And if one was born into a pigeon family, let's say, they adopted him and he's down there hanging out with the pigeons are worried because they say, wait a minute, what is he doing here? But he
Right.
don't realize he's an eagle because he was born into the pigeondom. You see what I'm saying? And they're pecking around for things at the city that man left over. You, you see where the eagle can fly to the highest place. But once you realize, once you capture it, use your imagination. And sometimes you got to play. You got to act as if you're already there. Just look up at the clouds, Mr. Eagle. Just look at the clouds. And
Yeah.
you'll see some other birds that might look just like you and lift your wings. But the
Yeah.
family will keep you at that level. If the family doesn't have much, they'll, and then here's another one. Sometimes the family has a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my God, everybody born with platinum spoons in their mouths. They driving $300,000 cars to high school. You understand what I'm saying? They got gold chains that cost more than a whole building. And they're looking at you because you're sitting around doing art. You're drawing all day. You ain't gonna never be nothing like that. You better get out here and get hard, and we're gonna take you down to Wall Street. You see, and you're gonna invest your money in the gold and diamonds and jewelry, and you just would like to draw and play your guitar. And then they start talking to you on another level because they feel like you're a disgrace. You're not doing anything. Well, actually, you're doing a lot because creativity, improvisation, being able to realize where you are and stay there. And here's the main thing. It is repetition that reprograms the subconscious. The repetitious thoughts that you've been having, the repetitious habits that you keep having, you keep putting new bricks in the building. Those are the building materials you're using to build your subconscious mind.
Yeah.
You've got to use new materials. It is the repetition of pleasure and pain that reprograms the subconscious. It's not controlling you.
Yeah.
It's just holding the ideas and the feelings and the experiences that you've programmed it with based on old things. But if we're in a brand new place, right? I just said earlier, we're in a brand new place. We've never been here before. Our genes are changing.
Yeah.
We are evolving. We have not stopped evolving. We're changing. We're growing. We're in a brand new place. And once you realize we're in a new place and anything is possible. So if you put your mind on what it is you desire, and the key thing that you said, Iyanla, was to feel it.
Yeah.
Feel, and I've been using this for years. When you said faith, feel as if the thing has happened.
Yeah.
I've been using that for years. You have to feel it. Don't just see it. Because see, they've been photoshopping your mind for a long time with tell lie vision. So you're not even sure what you see. And they say, that's your lying eyes. They're actually telling you the truth. Your eyes will lie. You'll see what you desire to see from based on your perspective. But just that idea about feeling it in your gut, feel as if it's already happened, even if everything around you seems to be falling apart and there's nothing but pigeons everywhere. You have to feel that you are an eagle and just start spreading your wings. Just act like you're spreading your wings.
Right. But let's do this because we can talk theory all day long. There are some people out there right now in this space who think that they're doing everything, they're reading the book or they're meditating, whatever they're doing, and they're still not moving forward. These are basement dwellers, people who don't even know they have a problem. What would it be to look at that? Who understands that? Is there anybody out there who you really believe that you're doing all of the right things, but you're still not moving? Who's that? Tell the truth about it. Put it in the chat. Okay? Because repetition is the mother of skill. And some of us are repeating the same thing, but it's so habitual, we don't even know what it is. And those are folks who don't even know they have a problem. Maybe we can get to some of that and move them up to the next tier where they know they got a problem. They don't know what it is. Maybe there's some of them. Okay. So we got a couple of people saying, me. I think I'm doing the right thing and I'm just not moving. Okay. So this is what I would ask you. What do you believe about the thing you say you want? And it could be simple, something as simple as it's going to be hard. I can't have it. I'm not. So take a breath and ask yourself, my true belief about what I want is. My true belief about what I want is. Come on, put it in there. My true belief about what I want is. No heat, no judgment. We're just, because people are texting all kind of stuff. Bring the focus back to where we are. Otherwise, we're going to breathe again. They talk about falcons and pigeons. Yeah. Be present. And see, it's right here. It's in the chat. As I look, people don't understand how important and powerful their energy is. So they go off on a tangent and create static right here in this energy. Stay present to what we're doing right here, right now. And don't be so eager to prove that you know something that somebody else don't know.
Whew.
You don't need to know about a falcon. We talking about tears, not birds. My true belief about what I want is accessible. My true belief about what I want is it's hard. Good. Hold that, Dr. B. My true belief about things will be complicated. You see, it's in there. Take that breath and go in there. I don't have what it takes to make it happen. You see, it's in there. This is your area, Dr. B, that subconscious mind. I don't have the intelligence. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. My true belief about what and thank you for putting the whole thread in so that you get that whole energy. My true belief about what I want is that I don't have what it takes. I will be healed from the top of my good. Okay. I want to focus on my direction, have the money. And if I had it, okay, my true belief about what I want is I don't have the money. So you see these unconscious thoughts down here in the basement, saying we want one thing, not having it, and not even realize how we're contributing to that. It's right there, Dr. B. What do they need to do with that?
Well, first of all, belief is to follow blindly. A belief is a doubt.
Yeah.
It's not a fact. It's I believe it. I follow it. This is the way I feel in this moment. So the first thing we have to do is everybody who said something, put in the chat what you would like. Only mention what you would like.
That's it.
What would you like? Never mind where you are and where you think you've been. What would you like? And you know, Iyanla, when I was doing when I was seeing clients and even doing classes, I would ask people, what is your desire? What would you like?
What do you want?
Do you know it took people sometimes an hour or a couple sessions to say what it is they desire?
Okay.
They would mention in their desire what they don't desire.
Okay.
Can you only mention what it is? What is the place that you would like to be? What is your destination? So put that in.
Yeah.
On the other side of what you believe about your situation, let's go ahead and dream time. And let's just play. What would you like?
Yeah.
Put that in the chat. Where would you like to be? What would you like to have? What do we
And
have?
be specific, beloveds. Be specific, because I'm seeing some things here. Financial stability. What does that mean?
Yes.
You got to have a clear understanding. I would like to earn blah, blah, blah. Go ahead and put a number on it. You don't have to know what to do about it right now. I'd like to earn blah, blah, blah so that I can experience financial stability. Let's see. I'd like to have a professional career as what? As what? Let's get specific, because the universe is going to read what you're putting out. Financial stability, some of us even have it. Is the rent paid? You got food, the lights are on, you got your little cell phone, and you can buy, a cookie if you want it, or a Starbucks. That's stable. That's stability. Is that what you want, or is there more? What Dr. B is saying is get specific. What I would like is marriage. What does that mean? What does that mean? Come on, get specific. I'd like to be married to a generous, loving, spiritually grounded partner who accepts me as I am. That's where we're going.
Yes.
And one of the things that happens with us when we're living at the tier of the basement is we don't give ourselves permission to go all in. Go all in. I want hot rabbit sex every Wednesday if the moon is full. And then you're seeing it, you're thinking it, you're feeling it, okay? Get excited. I want healthy. what does that mean? Healthy mental, emotion. What does that mean? Come on, put it, make it a whole thread. Let's stop thinking and dangling participles. Let's get complete thoughts, complete sentences. I would like to have the means. What a means? I'm not accepting that. I would like to have no means, no means. Tell me what you want. And this is the same thing you were saying, Dr. V, to get it, to nail it down. What is it? I would like to create generational wealth and the freedom to create and make a living outside of my current 9 to 5. Okay, you're headed there, but I want you to get a little tighter. Forget generational wealth. Let's think about you right now.
Whew.
Forget that. Think about you. You know why? You become the demonstration, and people will adjust and follow and mimic. And that's how you'll create it generationally, changing the mindset and changing the DNA. So just focus on you. I desire, good. Now come on, Natasha got it. I desire a 3-bedroom home with a backyard with my 2 dogs, my man, and our newborn baby. That's
Woo! Yes, yes.
okay. That I can pay, where I can pay the mortgage easily and effortlessly every month. Because people will think they got to buy a house. You don't know, somebody could give you one. In
That's right.
my father's house, there are many mansions. I would like to become the creator to fulfill my spiritual purpose, calling out to be a teacher. Good. Okay, now you're getting it. I desire to be married to my life partner and build a beautiful legacy with him. Stay on you right now. Stay on you. Don't
Yes.
tie your legacy to somebody else. No, 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 no. No, no. I know what you mean, but don't worry about it. Stay on you. I'd like to have a life of ease and pleasure by building stronger boundaries and centering my needs before attempting to care for others. I'm going to break that down. I'd like to honor myself and my boundaries so that I get to experience a life of elegant grace and ease. Don't mention others.
So let's upgrade that a little more.
Okay, come on.
I honor myself. Instead of I'd like to, I honor myself. Just
And
that
my boundaries.
simple.
And my boundaries.
And my boundaries.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
honor myself and my boundaries.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Okay.
Keep it
Michaela,
present.
I think you missed it, Michaela. You said I asked you what you wanted. That feels a little bitish to me. So take a breath. I'm not saying that what you want isn't what you want. What we're trying to do is get you to craft it and construct it in a way that's in alignment with the law of cause and effect, the law of correspondence, the law of compensation, so that the universe can see, feel, hear what it is you're putting out there. Yeah, good. I desire to be highly compensated for providing a service that fuels my passion of, what's your passion, baby? What's your passion? I want to live in a cottage in the woods next to a waterfall and raise cats and kittens. I dream of a simple life. I love that. Okay. All right. Y'all are getting it. You're getting it. I desire to have healing in my mind. Not that I am healed in my mind and body.
Yes.
And creating rewarding voiceover and writing business. Okay, tighten that up a little bit. Make it a little clearer. I desire to have custody of my nieces and nephews because my mother can't do it. Why you keep, let's get out of there. Stop talking about other people. I don't care what it is. I love desire. I love that because that's D meaning of,
Yes.
sire meaning the father. So
Yes.
you're birthing it in the mind. Father
Yes.
is mind. So desire of my mind. I have custody of my nieces, providing them care with elegant grace and ease. That's it. Forget about your mom. Not forget about, I don't mean that. I mean, don't put them in. Yeah, I allow my desire to be present. Okay, good. So now, Dr. B, you know what we want to know now? How does that feel?
Yes.
Come on. How does it feel? So here's the thread. When I think about the healing of my mind, I feel what? When I think about raising my nieces, I feel what? What's the word? I feel. Okay. Not want, baby. No want. Angela, no want. I desire to
Yes.
be no want, because the minute you say want, you're identifying a lack, because the truth is you already have everything. It's, are you vibrating where it's vibrating so that you can attract it to you? You already have everything. Tell them that, Dr. B, because it may not be making sense.
You know, um, one of my favorite books is
Good
by
sky, good sky. That's good.
one of my favorite books is by Stuart Wilde. Life was never meant to be a struggle. And this book is
Yeah,
about building wealth, right? And he says when you say you don't have anything,
that's right.
you're lying. Because let's say you've got something, but you haven't
Yep,
agreed that you have something because you would like more. But if you say I do have, even if you're saying, don't say I'm broke. I'm broke. Don't say I'm broke. You say, well, I've got 50 cents and I'm going to focus on the 50 cents and create more. But we a lot of times have a program
yes,
in our head that says what we have is not enough and we're not born with enough and we're born with everything. The main thing you're born with is an imagination. If you
yep,
can imagine it, if you can generate and cause the genies to come online, and no matter what anybody else around you says, does, feels, or what their opinions are, you focus on your desire. But like Iyanla is saying, we have to be focused on exactly what it is. I was talking to a client one time, and they just wanted to be rich. They wanted to be rich, and they kept going on about rich, rich. I said, well, what would you do with the money? They said,
right.
well, oh, I would just travel the world and lay on exotic beaches. There we go. I desire to travel the world and lay on this in an exotic. Don't worry about how, because
That's
how
right.
is none of your business.
That's right. That's
How
right.
is the biggest issue people got? How?
Yeah.
I think that's what the indigenous Americans were saying when they saw the pilgrims coming. They looked at what they was wearing and how they was acting. They said, how y'all doing? How y'all doing this? But, but I tell folks, when you're writing your bio of your life or even describing who you are, if you start with what it is, what is your name, what do you call yourself, and the second thing is why. Why do you have the desire you have? And like you said, well, how will you feel when you get there? A
That's right.
simple desire.
Yeah.
But what happens for a lot of folks, they have chronic servitude syndrome. They
Yes.
want to bring the whole family. They need to bring the dog, the neighbors. What will my friends think? If I quit my job, I really like my boss. He's going to be sad. You see? So once we get down to being a little self-caring, just you right now.
That's
Let's
you
keep it
right
simple.
now. Yeah.
Only you, and create that space in yourself. And it's a challenge. This is like you got to break out of a prison. You see, and just focus on what you would desire and how you feel when you get there. And never mention in your desire what you in no way desire.
That's right. Yeah. Because people will start a sentence with, well, I don't want to keep living like this. Well, don't talk about it then. But you also have to be real clear about how you want to live. So, that's what'll move you up to the first floor, or the next tier. The next level is, I know I've got a problem. I don't know what it is. It may be that chronic servitude. I remember years and years ago, there's a woman named June Juliet Gatlin, who is a beautiful, beautiful psychic who really brings forward the energy of the ancestors. And she was doing a consultation for me one day. This had to be 35 years ago. And she said to me, Iyanla, the struggle is over. She said, learn that. The struggle is over. And I said, oh my God. So I put it on little sticky notes everywhere. I put it on the lamp. I put it over the toilet paper. I put it over the refrigerator. I put it everywhere. I would see that thing 30, 40 times a day. The struggle is over. Some of us are addicted to the struggle. And we can't even believe that it can come to us just like that. And if we're not struggling, if it's not hard, we don't even believe that we can have it. The struggle is over. Elegant grace and ease is mine. Write that down. The struggle is over. Elegant grace and ease in all areas of my life, and see how that makes you feel. Because sometimes we can't even attract the thing we want because it's vibrating here and we're vibrating here. Well, where's it coming? Is it here? Is it now? Ooh. And the universe doesn't work like that. It just shows up so easily, so elegantly. It's just, I remember this happened to me, was it this year? I woke up one morning and my spirit said, go buy a new car. The hell? Ain't nothing wrong with my car. Pattern, there's got to be, your car got to break down before you can have a new one. Okay? But I have a thing that I do. When my car hits 50,000 miles, I get rid of it. I don't want it no more. 50,000, you getting ready to give me a problem. So I want a new car. But I didn't have 50,000 miles on my car. Because of COVID, I was home all the time. So I woke up one morning and Spirit said, go buy a new car. And I'm like, I don't need a car. Why would I want? Go buy a car? Here's another level of a tier: obedience. 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 So I called the same brother that I bought my last 5 cars from, my Honda dealer. I ain't moving out of Honda because it don't dump me. It don't bother me. It treats me well as a woman. I don't need to be out wondering nothing about nothing. And I don't want to spend a lot of money in repairs. So I stay my behind in the Honda. I could have a Lexus. I could have a BMW. I could have a Benz. No, thank you. I got 10 grandkids. I need a Honda. I'm not putting the French fries in my Benz, okay? So let me go get me a Honda. All right. So I get up and I call. I said, Ifiak, you got a white Pilot for me? He said, no, but I'll get it for you. I said, okay, when you gonna get it? He said, let me call around. 2 days later, he said, I got you a white Pilot. It's in Virginia to be here today. When you coming in? I said, right now. I went in and I got the thing and was sitting there and going through the thing. And the manager comes over. He says, Miss Vanzant, you have bought 5 cars from us in the last 7 years. I said, yeah, because when my car hit 50,000 miles, I bring it back to you. He said, listen what he said to me. Would you be willing to accept a $6,000 discount from us just to write a testament about you and your Pilot? What, $6,000 off the price of my brand new car? Just to say why buy Honda? Absolutely. Bring me a piece of paper. So not only did I get the car for $6,000 less, knocked $400 off my payment. Okay? From being obedient. Discipline, obedience, alignment of thought and feeling. Sometimes it comes by invitation. You don't have to create it. You don't have to know it's coming. The struggle is over. Be open to divine invitation. Somebody said they wanted to travel. Well, what if Condé Nast puts up an ad on Facebook? We're looking for people who would like to travel and write reviews of resorts for the magazine. What about that? You don't have to know how, you have to know what. Okay, are y'all telling us how it feels? Are y'all telling it how? Here's somebody else big enough for my family to visit and enjoy. Stay out of there. Stay with yourself.
Yes.
Okay, somebody feels broken and stuck. Take a breath. Take a breath and find it in your body. Where is the brokenness? Where is the stuckness? Where's the brokenness? Where is the stuckness? Find it in your body. I don't care if it's in your toe, if it's in your eye, if it's in your armpit, in your punani. I don't care where it is. Find it. Where is it? Because if we can't find it, we can't find the root and the cause, okay? Because chances are you feel broken and stuck up here.
Yes.
Because if you're breathing, nothing else is broken or stuck. but I want you to find it in your body. Go ahead and then put it in the chat. I'm going to look for it, okay? In your heart. Okay, good. That is wonderful. Take a breath. Take a breath. Yeah, and focus right in your heart, beloved. Focus right in your heart. I feel that right now you feel the need to cry. If that is the case, cry. Crying is your ticket. It's a declaration and it's a release. Crying says, I'm done. Don't just cry with an agenda. So you're going to go ahead and let yourself cry. I'm crying to get unstuck. Say that. Breathe. I'm crying to get unstuck. And if you don't feel like crying, that's okay. If you don't, stuck in my heart. All right. Focus in the center of your chest. Focus in the center of your chest. Focus in the center of your chest and ask your heart to use your mind to speak why it feels broken. Just let the heart use the mind and put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. My heart is saying what? What is my heart saying? Oh, y'all are doing good. I would love to share my passion of fitness and wellness and be compensated. Oh, almost got there. Almost got there, fat, fit ladies, 50 plus. Take out that I have no. Do you see what you just said? I have no financial worries. The universe don't know about worries. So what you just said is I have no finances. No. X that out. Cancel. Come on. I learned my cousin molested my little sister. Hear me. I'm not going to call you out. What does that have to do with you? I learned my cousin molested my little sister, so I feel stuck and broken. I get that there's an empathetic feeling or connection, but what does your sister being molested by your cousin have to do with your dream, your vision? What does it have to do with that in this moment? Is he molesting your sister right now? Or is she or whoever, are they molesting your sister right now? And if not, what does that have to do with you? Help me. I'm not being cold or disconnected, but that's something that you good, Kelly, very good, Kelly. You see that, Dr. V? She's crying
Yes.
enough stuff. She's crying with an agenda. Yes, I'm just crying. I will fall back in love with my life. You will. Come on. I want to know, what does your sister being raped by your cousin have to do with you in this moment while she was living with me? Okay, so you're feeling guilty, you're feeling ashamed. What are you feeling? My cousin molested my sister while she was living with me, and that makes me feel what? My heart is missing my late husband, Robert. Okay, baby. Focus on your heart. Focus in the center of your chest. Take a breath and ask your heart, what does it want Robert to know? Because Robert is right here.
That's right.
Robert is right here. What
Yes.
does your heart want Robert to know? And if you miss him, tell him, I miss you. I miss you, but I'm ready, and I'm ready to move forward. Good. Feel guilty and ashamed. Good. So you're feeling, I feel guilty and ashamed
Yes.
because my cousin molested my sister while she was living with me. Take a breath. Good. Take a breath. I want you to do this. I do this, but Dr. B does this. So let's do this. And I want you to say, I give myself permission to release all guilt and shame. Take a breath. I give myself permission to release all guilt and shame. Take a breath. I give myself permission to release all guilt and shame. Take a breath. Now, right in the top of your head, I give myself permission to release all guilt and shame. Don't attach it to anything, just all guilt and shame. Take a breath. I give myself permission to release all guilt and shame. Take a breath. Now, under your eyes, right here, I give myself permission to release all guilt and shame. Take a breath. Come on, come on. I give myself permission to release all guilt and shame. Back to the chest. I give myself permission to release all guilt and shame. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're reprogramming. We're moving energy. We're lifting it up. I give myself permission to release all guilt and shame. Check in and see how you feel now. Good. Okay. Same thing. You do, Kali. I give myself permission to release all blockages. I would give myself permission to release all blockages in my mind. I give myself permission to release all blockages in my emotional body. I give myself permission to release all blockages in my physical body. I give myself permission to release all blockages. I give myself permission to release all blockages. I give myself permission to release all blockages. Under the eye, I give myself permission to release all blockages. And if you don't want to tap, you can rub. I give myself permission to release all blockages. And rub here, rub here, rub here. Give myself permission. You don't have to name it. You don't have to know what it is. The vibrations on the universe are moving so fast now. You don't, too many words, too much mind. Let it go. I want to see how Gail is doing. How's she doing? Let me see what she's doing here. How you feel now, babe? Can you see her? Oh, there she is. Yeah, good. No. I did not say nothing about my guilt. No, not my guilt. Because if it's yours, you're going to want it. I give myself permission to release all guilt and shame. Why am I saying that? It might be your mother's guilt. It could be your father's guilt. It could be your grandmother's guilt that simply got triggered by this experience in your life. You didn't rape your sister. Why are you feeling guilty? You didn't molest her. Why are you feeling ashamed? What I sense is that guilt and shame is in the DNA and it got triggered by this experience. Do you understand that? So don't say my guilt. Don't say my shame. Don't say my blockage. Don't say my cancer, my diabetes, the cancer, the diabetes, whatever it is. Okay, come on. How's that going? Come on. How's that going? Good. Good. Okay. Not mine. Does that make sense, Dr. B?
It does. And that's like the first level of this tier, right?
Yes.
First, identify what it is
That's
and identify how you truly feel about it without other people's feelings adding in on your stuff. Because sometimes you feel a certain way because you think other people are going to feel a certain thing. So we're not really good mind readers. Like people will say, well, I think that you think, and they're going to think, and what if they think? First of all, what you think about yourself, for yourself, by yourself, with yourself is the most important thing. So once you've identified it and you've said, okay, I all those things, then you go to the next level. I give myself permission to be my best self.
That's it.
I give myself permission to spread my wings. I give myself permission to move past this situation. I give myself permission to be higher and at a new level. I give myself to break free from whatever was holding me. That's the next level. Once you identify it, then you speak on exactly what it is you desire by creating a telos. A telos has to do with where you're going, like a telescope. It's seeing someplace far away. A telos is where you would like to go. So at this point, you become the captain, you become the CEO of your life. For a lot of us, who's running the show is the one who we call the bodyguard.
Yeah.
The one that came to protect you, the person within you that you created to protect you from trauma, things that happen. You don't ever want them to happen again. So you got this bodyguard who's always looking for that thing to happen again, even though actually history never repeats itself. You see, then sometimes that same bodyguard personality that's always looking for a problem, it becomes the saboteur. It will sabotage anything. Sometimes it will stop you from moving forward by saying things like, Well, I got to bring my family with me. I got to bring my friends. What are they going to do? See, that's a saboteur. So you won't move forward because the saboteur says, what about them? Well, if you don't get out of hell, you can't even throw a rope back to get your friends out of hell. You got to get out first. You see?
Yeah.
And then we also got to realize there's a third person. See, so you're the CEO or the captain of the ship. Then you have this bodyguard, this security guard. Then you have another one, the manager. The manager is looking for opportunities. A good manager is not looking for problems. They're looking for opportunities.
Yes.
You have to state the opportunity. You have to steer your ship in the direction of the opportunity because it does exist if you say it exists. You have to be Christ-like. Christ in the what's it called? The Metaphysical Bible Dictionary.
Yes.
Basically says that it's crystallized imagination.
That's right.
You must crystallize your imagination towards what you desire and get to the point where you no longer even mention the thing you do in no way desire.
Yeah.
Now, do not, could not, should not, all those things, they get you tied up in knots.
Yes.
So we remove those because we don't like knots.
Yeah.
Only mention the desired state and act as if it's happened. Play the game of it being here now, alone, by yourself. And that's the key, Iyanla, is that thing about, I got to bring everybody with me. Well, you can't. You got to get through the eye of the needle yourself.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that with a whole crew of people? And a lot of times you get to the place where you realize that the tier you need to go to, everybody else in your family is not ready to go.
Right.
You're begging them. You're trying to teach them. You're bringing books home. You quoting this person and that, and they don't hear you.
Yeah.
In fact, they think you done lost your mind. Is this in the Bible? That ain't in the Bible because they got
it may not be your job to drag them along.
Yes.
It may, and I always say, my greatest, first of all, you've got to be willing to leave people where they are if that's where they choose to be. Hear me. You've got to be willing to leave people where they are if that's where they choose to be, because we're all endowed with free will. And don't think so lowly of them to think that they don't know how to make a choice, because they choose to ignore you. They choose to tell you what to do. Leave people where they are if that's where they choose to be. And we're not telling you to leave your family. And, you just have to be real clear about what your dealing is going to be with them. But it may not be your job to pull other people along. Okay? It may not be your job. I want to go back to this for a moment, if I can, Dr. B.
Yes, please.
Sometimes the experiences in your life trigger up something that's been implanted in the subconscious mind or the DNA. And you can get caught up in the experience saying, oh, I'm guilty because of this, or I'm angry because of that, or I'm sad because of this or that. No, it may not even be yours. Yes, you had the experience. And that's why we're saying, get into the heart, allow that thing to talk to you, because a lot of my guilt wasn't mine. It was my mother's. It was my mother's guilt, being the other woman, being an alcoholic. A lot of my anger wasn't mine. It was my dad's. And once I was able to identify, okay, this is not even mine. And I had to give myself permission to release it. I had to give myself permission to release it, even if I didn't know what to do. But here's another piece that I want you to understand, beloveds. Very often, we become so familiar and comfortable in the dysfunction until we fear what it would be like to become functional. And we don't think that we have what it takes. We know how to manage the dysfunction, the anger, the guilt, the shame, the poverty. But there may be a part of us that doesn't believe that we are enough or have enough to manage something new. So we will fight to hold on to the dysfunction. Okay? Not saying that's for everybody, but it's a possibility. So somebody saying my anger and guilt, cancel, 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 cancel the anger and guilt. The anger and guilt. Okay. What does this mean? How do you tell yourself it's okay when it's really not? It's all, see, Dr. B, help me with this. Let me ask you a question. Okay. God, source, creator, whatever people call it, is sovereign. Is sovereign. The ultimate power of life that exists within us. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. So if God is sovereign, God, source, creator, the universe, divine mind, infinite intelligence is sovereign, meaning it has omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent power over all things. Why do we say that things ain't okay the way they are?
You know, and we have this thing about right and wrong too.
Ah,
People want to be right. They don't want to be wrong, because when you grew up, you had this. That was instilled in a lot of us about being right and being what was right and what was wrong. You know what I'm saying? So we've kind of etched that into our consciousness about, you know what I'm saying? Things are bad and it's not okay. But a lot of times what you are calling bad is the thing that's the hurdle that
yes.
you must jump over to get to the place that you're going. Because we need to realize that a diamond goes through pressure, heat, and pain. And that's what alchemy is about. That's what this series is about, alchemy. The
Yes.
first step of alchemy is calcination. This
Uh-huh.
is when you turn up the heat. And when you pull a metal out of the ground, let's say, you would like it to be pure gold. When it comes out the ground, it's not pure gold. It has
Yes.
other elements with it. So they've got to heat it up, because at certain temperatures, certain things burn off, certain things fall out of the formulation at certain temperatures. So it's the heat, it's the pressure, it's the trial, it's the tribulation that actually tests us. Well, you say, well, why do I need to be tested? Because only the greatest are going to be winners. The one
Yes.
thing, the difference between winners and losers is that winners never give up.
Yeah.
They never give up. I can't believe he's out there running in the snow. It's only 2.5 degrees and he's out there running. Well, guess what? He's going to be a winner. She's going to be a winner. You made a cake and it didn't come out right. So what do? Stop? See, a lot of people start, they go no more than 3 times before they quit. You have to keep going and realize that you have to become as good as the source. You have to become sovereign, because you are a part of the source. You are part of the source. You're a part of creation. When did you divide yourself away from creation? You see? So a storm comes and it blows a whole bunch of plants away. But there's one flower and it's very flexible. So when the wind blows, it goes with the wind. It doesn't stay stiff. See, we stay stiff and we break because we're supposed to be a certain way. Don't cry.
Yeah.
Cry. Be mad. We need to go down there and beat their asses. I'm angry. Look what they did to me. Here's a good one. They make me mad. You just gave them so much power. They are making me mad. You make me sick. Cancel, cut, delete, and clear. Well, how could they create sickness in you from across the room or from across the world? You see, we give away our power, right? So we leak. We got a ship in the ocean that's leaking. And here's the big one. You're the captain of the ship, even though you don't know it. There's a cargo hold. How much of that cargo was yours?
Right. That's it.
Is that okay? I was working with a client once, and I used to do in-home consultations. And I went to this lady's house, and we were talking about all the health things that she had going on. It was a long list. She had this TV tray with like 25 medicines on it, right? You could see the couch where she's been sitting in that same place. It had an indentation. The dark place was dark. And I was like, well, what's going on? It's just everything is bad. And the doctor said I got arthritis and itis and this and that. And I said, and what is this piece of furniture here in your living room? She had this big, I don't even know what it was. You could tell it was old and it didn't fit the decor. I said, what is that? Oh, well, my aunt died. We all decided to take stuff. So they gave that to me. I said, when your aunt died, yeah, she died. Well, how was your relationship with your aunt? I hated my aunt. She hated me. All we did was argue. And when she died, I was happy. I said, so You got an item, an ancient item from your aunt in your living room. She says, and you got to get rid of that. She says, oh no, Dr. B, that thing gonna be worth something one day. They
Oh,
told me that thing is made out of certain type of ebony maple wood from the teak tree, from the deep blah blah blah. It's gonna be worth a lot of money one day. I said, lady, right now that thing is sucking the energy out of you and your house. It's worth nothing. She cusses me out. Tells me this thing is over. I'm gonna pay you your money. You ain't gonna start trying to take away my wealth and my family riches. She throws me out. Technically, I leave. Do you know? About 3 months later, this lady comes to my. I'm doing a lecture, and she's just sitting up front, just smiling. And after the lecture, she says, "Dr. B, you saved my life." I said, "What are you talking about? Remember that thing I had in my living room? It started talking to me at night, and I realized it was haunted. So I called some people and I paid the junk collectors to come get it. When they took that thing out, it was like they took a ghost out of my house. He says, look at my hands, because she had arthritis. She said, I'm almost 100%. Because a lot of times we're holding on to something, whether it's an idea, a belief, or something that's an old hand-me-down. Yeah. They gave it to you. They passed it down. And you took it, and that thing, that idea, that way, that habit that you got from your people could be killing you. It's haunting you. So we've got to look down in that cargo hold. I was at the airport and they kept saying, have you had your eye on your luggage? I forgot how they say it. Don't take luggage from somebody else. Keep your eye on your luggage. So as we move forward into creating our new lives, we have to burn off all the things through calcination that's not ours, which means letting go a lot of that hand-me-down stuff and identify it. So make a list. How many things do you have? And everyone do this. How many things, ways, habits, sayings, things like that you have that are not originally yours? They were given to you by your family, by your friends, your political group, your religion. What do you have that's a hand-me-down? And once you see it, you'll feel the energy right away, whether you really want that, because you're carrying it and it's making you heavy and it's keeping you in the place. So you can't go to the next tier. You can't elevate until you get rid of some of that heavy luggage in your life.
And sometimes you can do it, physically, like by cleaning out your drawers in your closets and labeling what you're throwing away or giving away. I do two things. If I'm clearing, I will take things and pull them out and I donate them. I'm clearing out. I'm donating. When I'm cleaning out, I don't give my stuff to other people. I label it for, this is my father's, dishonesty. I throw that away. I don't pass that on to other people. So I make a distinction between clearing and cleaning. And you can do the same thing with your mind. Like, for example, my grandmother, who was a Native American domestic worker, taught me that you got to work hard for money. If you don't work hard, you won't have money. And what I discovered was I had to be broke in order to get money. Because the day before payday, you're struggling, you're eating whatever. And so I had to be out of money to get money. And when I realized that I had taken those things on, that they weren't even mine, I had to get rid of that. I had to release that. I had to clear that out. So money comes to me easily and effortlessly by no effort of my own. It comes to me by God's grace. Money is my birthright. I deserve to have abundance and wealth and prosperity, that enough to spare and to share. Okay. I didn't put nobody else in there because I could share it with, whoever. But we sometimes have to look at, like what you're saying, we have to look at it and find out, is this my luggage or am I carrying somebody else's bag? But Dr. B, some of us have baggage and some of us have monogram luggage.
Whew.
We like our monogram luggage. It's got our name on it, our pain on it, our excuses on it. It's got everything. We'll hold on to the monogram luggage.
I got to write that.
Okay. So it's so good. Yeah. Now, you've gone into a place, Gail, I don't even know where you're going. I don't even know where you're going. Because I saw, Now I see I forgive myself for not being perfect. What is, first of all, perfection's overrated. And it's a construct of the ego. Perfection is a construct of the ego because the creator said it is good and very good. And then here we come saying it's not enough. You know, one of the things as a student of A Course in Miracles, I learned a long time ago. I want to go back to my original statement. Somebody said, how do you tell yourself it's okay when it's really not? And the question was, well, why is it not okay? Lesson 268 in the Course in Miracles says, let all things be exactly as they are, knowing that the creator is sovereign and in charge. And because we don't know what the creator is doing. We don't know what a person's lesson is. We don't know what a person's soul is requiring for them to grow. So we look at something and call it bad or wrong when we don't know what the creator is doing. So the Course in Miracles teaches us, let me not be your critic, God. Let me not judge against you. Let me see all things and let them be exactly as they are, knowing I cannot, shall not, choose not to interfere with your creations. Teach me how to love what it is by loving myself first. You don't know what God is doing. Oh, but the children are dying of cancer. You don't know what God is doing. Oh, but they were such a good person. Why are they afflicted? You don't know what their soul is calling for. You don't know, and you don't know your lessons. Let me own that. I didn't know my lessons. So I'm feeling bad and sorry for everybody else. You know, I think I learned one of the most powerful things when my daughter died. When Jamia died. Beautiful, 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 beautiful soul. People used to say Jamia always sounded like she was smiling when she talked because she was just so powerful. The things she had accomplished in her life by age 31, I was 50 something and I still hadn't accomplished. And when she made her transition, when she left her body, I remember reading in her journal over and over and over and over, God, I want to do what it is you have brought me here to do. God, I want to serve you in the way you want me to serve you. God, this is what she kept writing in her journal. And one day after reading all of this, I said, oh my God, oh my God. She couldn't do what God wanted her to do in that physical body. She couldn't do it. I don't know how that came to me, but I tell you, it brought me so much peace. Her prayer was to be and to do what God wanted her to be and do. Who am I to say she had to do it in the physical body? For all I know, she's a star right now. You know, she could be, I don't know. But that was her prayer. That's what her soul needed. Of course, as her mom, I wanted her here in the physical body. But I say, God, let me not be your critic today. Let me not judge against you. Let me be willing to withdraw my wishes from this experience so that thy will be done. How about that? Instead of calling it right, wrong, good, bad. You don't know why is going on between your sister and your cousin, that they've had that experience. So what does that have to do with you and your perfection and your life? How can we call something okay if it's not? It's all okay. Everything is. Let everything be. Let all things be exactly as they are. And ask of the thing, what is it that I'm learning here? What is it that I am learning here? Not why is this like this? Let's move into the second tier now. What is it that I'm learning? Why am I judging this? Why am I thinking I can out-God God? Why am I thinking that I know best what's for somebody? Why am I thinking that I know what somebody should and should not experience? Let me not be your judge today, God. I see you, Dr. B. What you got there?
You know, when I started studying the subconscious, I also started studying metaphysics really deeply. And
Mm-hmm.
they had proven at this point, and I think it was the year 2000, that there were 11 dimensions. This is the conventional scientists. Now, ancient beliefs or ancient ways where there was at least 144,000 dimensions. Now, a dimension is a place, a room, or a space. Like there's a room that might be wherever you are right now. There's a room that you can't see what's in there.
Yeah.
Or there's a neighbor's house. You've never been in there. That's another dimension. So
Right.
if the scientists are saying there's 11 dimensions, there's 11 earths.
Right.
There's 11 versions of you on each one of those earths. And at each one of those earths, there's a different version of you doing a different thing, not being exactly the same.
Right.
They prove that if your mindset is clear enough, and if you repeat a certain belief or follow a certain way, or called what's called a Tao, a path, if you do that long enough, you actually can switch dimensions. Happens all the time.
Yeah.
Person didn't have anything. And some of the greatest inventions were people that didn't have anything. They had nothing. And there was no way of them getting out of their situation. And
Yeah.
suddenly they had an epiphany or they had an idea. Something came over there. The gut told them to do this and do that. And they began to follow what? The source. They
Yeah.
began to follow their gut. They began
Yeah.
to follow their intuition. They had to walk away from the city. It's like Lot, So in the Bible, God comes to Lot and tells Lot, you got to leave.
Right.
And he says,
And
well,
don't
what about,
turn
you got to
around.
leave Sodom and Gomorrah. And he says,
No.
well, what about my wife and my children? He says, well, if they would like to come, they can go. And he went and talked to the daughters. The daughters loved Sodom and Gomorrah. They wasn't leaving. So they stayed in Sodom and Gomorrah. But the wife, she's, well, I guess I'll go. And Lot says, well, let's go. And God basically says that once you go, you cannot look back, because you will turn into a pillar of salt. So what are they doing? They're walking, and the wife looks
The
back.
heart. The heart.
The heart looks back and turns into a pillar of salt. And I realized in the story this was deep, because Lot couldn't even look back at the wife.
That's right.
He heard the sound of salt, right? And he had to keep walking. Why?
Yeah.
Because he's Lot.
Yeah.
Lot is a lot. There was a lot for him. There was land. There was another world for him. So you got to realize that you got to keep walking.
Yes.
Keep walking. Go out into that field. And in that field, when you get in that field where there's flowers and there's newness, lay down in that field.
Yes.
Smell those flowers of that world. Whether you believe it or not, just keep walking. And when you get there, take in the energy of that place, and the other place can't even come with you, because you're now in a field of flowers.
Yes.
And I'd like to shift just a little bit.
Okay.
That's okay.
Please. I'm your guest.
Into terraces. No, we're both having a conversation. We're both guests. So I love Rumi. I was introduced to Rumi by my partner years ago. And, Rumi, Rumi. This is like some deep stuff. Rumi is a poet, by the way.
Yeah.
And Rumi has this one called Tear Down This House. And Rumi says, you've been living in this house that's not yours. And I'm going to paraphrase it, because, I'm going to transliterate it, is what they did with a lot of these ancient stories, right? They transliterated it.
Yeah.
He says, this is not your house you've been living in. Your house is you, your space, your home, your mindset. He says, you got to tear this house down.
Yeah.
When you're ready to change, you got to be willing to tear down the house. It's not even your house. When you get to the basement, you've got to take a pickaxe.
Yeah.
And you've got to break up the concrete stone basement. And even after you've broken up the basement, you've got to get down to the dirt under your foundation.
Yeah.
And keep digging.
Yeah.
Now the house is gone. The foundation is gone. Don't stop digging.
That's right.
And he says, you're going to keep digging until you get to these carnelian crystals. When you get the carnelian crystals, take those carnelian crystals and take them somewhere else and put them in your land, build your new foundation in your new home, Put the windows where you'd like them. Put the doors where you'd like them. If you're going to have a terrace, you decide what side of the house the terrace is on. So this is deep because let's say for a lot of folks, they will do this. I know folks say, okay, I did it. I got what I desire. I got my new house. But they built the terrace on the side so they could still see what the homies is doing. They want to be able to look back at the hood. They want to keep going to the hood, driving their new car. They want to go check on all those beings that are back there. And sometimes we stay stuck because that's our tribe.
Yeah.
When we build a new house, you need to know where the terrace, where the picture window is going to be. What would you like to see? Or are you building your new house in a place where you could still stay in the neighborhood mindset? I'm talking about, this is all metaphysical, where you're still attracted to and married to your own self. Where your terrace is, that's the place where you plant new things on that level. So Rumi says, tear down the house.
Yeah.
Who here is ready to tear down the house?
Okay.
Everything's got to go.
Yeah. And if you're not willing, that too is a lesson. If there's resistance, if there's hesitation, if there's fear, you can make inquiry of that thing, of the fear, of the resistance, of the hesitation. What is it? What are you bringing me? What are you teaching me? What is it in here? Because you'll say I'm ready, and even in this environment, you'll say I'm ready. You just planted that seed in the universe. So when stuff starts falling apart, in Conversations with God, book 1, Neil Donald Walsh wrote, once you declare yourself to be a thing, everything unlike it will show up. So you're declaring yourself, I'm ready to tear this house down. So when stuff starts falling apart or breaking down, don't punk out. Don't punk out. Okay, this has to come down, whatever it is. My house literally came down. I lost $1 million publishing contract. I lost a $5 million television deal. My husband left. I had to file bankruptcy and give up literally tore my house down. And I stayed in that state for almost 9 years until I got the lesson. I was trusting all along the way, but it took me. I was in the basement. I didn't know what the problem. I didn't even know I had a problem. I had a problem. Okay, and my problem was control. That was my problem. I wanted to know what it was going to look like, how it was going to look, how is it coming, and when is it, how long it's going to last. My problem was control. I had all manner of control. And it took me 9 years to realize, okay, baby, you can't control nothing. You can't control nothing. And it came to me so radically. It was, I don't know if it was a dream or a vision. Oh, you want control? Okay, let me show you how much control you got. Take your alarm clock to the cemetery and let's see what happens.
Wow.
I was like, oh, okay. Since you don't have to, you want to put it like that. Take your alarm clock to the cemetery and see who you can wake up out there. All right. That'll tell you how much control you got. You ain't got no control. So you say you're ready to tear the house down. Yeah. But once it's gone, Dr. B, then they have to be very clear and mindful of choice, because we're choosing every moment by moment. We're choosing. And if you start choosing from habit, if you start choosing from prescription, if you start choosing from formula, as opposed to choosing from vision and trust and faith and discipline and obedience, if you start choosing from habit, you're going to end up with your terrace facing the hood.
Yesterday I was in the high desert foraging for this one very special herb called chaparral.
Oh, yeah. I know
Very powerful herb. Indigenous people used it. and still do. It's one of the oldest. They say it's the oldest plant, and it
Real.
lives in extremely hot, dry. It's arid. It's no water. There's nothing but a few little lizards and little sagebrush and prickers. You know what I'm saying? But it is a very powerful plant because of the heat and the pressure that it's been through. It's one of the most healing things.
Yes.
So I even did a live on IG. If you go look at it, I'm out there foraging yesterday for this herb, and I decide now I got a whole bunch of it. I need to send it back to my lab because I use it, right? So I go to this place, the Container Store.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick this up because it smells really strong, right? So I walk in the Container Store and I find the containers that I want to put it in, and I get to the counter. And the lady looks. She says, "Do you want to get a discount on this?" I said, "No." And she said, she can't hear me. I says, "No, I don't want a discount." She says, "Well, no, there's a discount. You can get $10 off." And she says, "I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I'll fill out everything for you so you can get this discount." I says, "Lady, I don't desire the discount." She says, "What do you mean?" She says, "You're going to get this. You'll get emails. You'll get all these." I says, "I in no way desire to be on any more list and join in. And I don't want to be discounted." She says,
Yeah.
"What do you mean? What did you just say?" And this other lady walked up and she says, "What did you just say?" I says, "I no longer desire to be discounted because each time I look for a discount, I discount myself.
That's
I
right.
feel like I don't have enough. I'll the $10. I'll give you the extra $10. I would rather buy it full price and tell my subconscious that I can afford the best. If you're always looking for discounts and you're saving coupons, do you know your subconscious says that you're not worth it because you've discounted yourself? Everybody wants a discount because they feel they don't have enough when actually they do. You actually do. If you dig into that reservoir that we're all born with and stop looking for things to be easy and cheap and the fast way out. Tearing down that house is not easy, but it's simple.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
One step at a time.
Start in your bedroom.
Right.
Go in your bedroom, each of you. Look at everything in the bedroom. Pull everything out of the drawers. Find out how many things in that bedroom are keeping you awake because actually everything in your bedroom is alive.
Yeah.
It's affecting your sleep. So I used to have books. I had a bookshelf in my bedroom. It had all the books, the dark secrets, the hidden mysteries of this hidden black hand, and the secret order of the owl people, and the reptilii of the reptiliousness, and the secret blah, blah. I had a lot. I had books on herbs, but I also had these books about who's controlling the world. And I'm sleeping with this stuff, and I can't figure out why I'm stuck. It's because I think I need that knowledge. And when you're sleeping, you're reading everything in the room. So I had to go through my room and get rid of everything that I no longer desire to sleep with. Here's the question. Who are you sleeping with?
And what? Yeah. Who and what?
What are you sleeping? You're talking about you met somebody and they was a succubus. Is that stuff in your room sucking your bliss? Huh? What is sucking your bliss in your life? Who are you hanging with? Those are things that are about your home, where you live. See, when they say there's no place like home, they're not talking about a building. They're talking about you, where you live in your mind. How come I keep meeting jerks? Because you're a jerk. You couldn't even finish your cough right there, huh? You keep meeting jerks because you're a jerk and you attract energy to the level that you are. And you want to meet somebody new. You've met a guy who looks just like the last guy. Instead of having 6 packs, he's got a 9-pack. You know, he looks. You meet this sister. She looks just like the last sister because your mindset says that I can fix this by replacing her mind with a new person with the same body or the same ideas. You've got to be willing to walk out into nowhere. You've got to stop predicting and trying to control the thing that's uncontrollable. But what you can be in total control of is what you focus on.
Right.
You focus on the disagreeable and things you cannot control, that circle gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
If you only focus on what you can. So what? There's chemtrails. Dr. B, you ain't worried about the chemtrails. Look outside. I says, listen, I don't even know what a chemtrail is. They can't touch me. There's somebody trying to put some hoodoo on you, Dr. B. I said, let them do it. You can't put hoodoo. I can only allow you to do to me. It's about what me do. What do I do? It ain't about the voodoo. Once you get to that mindset and you realize that you're creating a vortex and a dimension, but first you got to clean out your room, the place you invest your most time, your head.
Yeah.
Do inventory of your thoughts. How many times do you think a disagreeable thought? Write it down. How many times do you think agreeable thoughts? Write it down.
Yeah.
You start looking at, wow, this is a habit. I'm tripping over my own self. I'm on a trip. And you're talking about who's on drugs. You're on drugs because each of these disagreeable thoughts creates energy and creates a chemical capacity. Is that a new word? Capacity.
Yeah.
Chemical capacity, right? Of
Yeah.
stuff. And then you attract more of it because you think in a certain way that's not real. You're creating it. You're predicting by your words and your action. So clean out your room. You don't have to own a house. You own a home, which is you. Let's clean that up. Mentally, physically, spiritually, do a cleanse and detoxify yourself. Do a silent fast. Stop talking so much. Stop needing to react so quickly. Learn to shut the heck up. I use another word, but I figure it's PG. You're talking too much about nothing. How much gossip are you doing? Who are you talking to? Why are you talking to them? You don't have to answer these people. Somebody asked me something. They said, well, Dr. B, I need you to make a decision fast. I said, well, I guess I can't do it because I need to go do something, right? And I need to let the moon and the sun, the sun go down. And I need to do what's called consideration. Consideration is letting the stars talk. Siddur means star. So when you say, let me take that into consideration, I'm not going to answer you so quickly because the old person is always answering quickly, bringing stuff home to the bedroom and it keeps you up all night. What you do is you just let the stars come out and let your gut, because the stars talk directly to your microbiome and it will give you the answer. And if it's no, feel okay to say no. If it's yes, feel okay to say yes. But take things into consideration and watch what you're making love with. Who are you sleeping with? What are you sleeping with? Who is in the bed with you? That's what's important.
Well, all righty then. I think that, when I learned a long time ago, I don't sleep with shoes in my room. Well, you can't even wear shoes in my house, but people keep shoes under their bed and at the side of the bed and all that. Now that I won't do because you're walking all of that stuff into the bedroom. But I have an opportunity. Okay. As you said, the cleaning, one of the things, and I love your kit. I just find it's cleaning me on all levels, my skin, my mind, everything. But one of the practices that I have, whenever I'm doing a cleanse, like when I was engaged, as I engage in your products, is I visualize vacuuming my brain out.
Woo!
I just hold a thought. And for me, white light is everything. So I just see a tube of white light. I see a tube of white light and I see it coming down. And then I see it going up. And from it, in it, I release everything out of my brain. Everything. I tell her to take it from the left frontal lobe, the right frontal lobe, the left rear lobe, the left right lobe. Take it from my conscious mind, my subconscious mind, and just suck everything into white light. I release into the white light everything and anything present in my mind, my physical mind, my spiritual mind, my emotional mind that does not serve my highest and greatest good. And I take a breath and I just see the vacuum, the white vacuum sucking it up. Another thing is because I don't believe that we live in a individual sphere, like you were saying earlier. I believe we live in a metaverse.
Yes.
Many levels that we exist in. So even when I'm releasing, I say release it for all time, all space, across all verses, universes, metaverses. Release it intergalactically. Just release it if it doesn't serve my highest and greatest good. Just let the light. And I just sit there until I just feel clear. I mean, it's the most amazing thing. I said I was going to record it and help people do it, but just ask the white light to come in and suck out of your brain any and everything who that no longer serves your highest and greatest good. Don't even say what it is. Your highest and greatest good. Just let all things go. And you that's another way you can surrender control. Dr. B, I just want to we talked about the tears, we talked about the terrace, that place where you create from the outside. I just want to remind folks that it's about discipline, obedience, focus, yeah, making sure that you elevate your thoughts. It's about surrendering control. It's about your belief system. It's about bringing the heart and head together. So you have the thought and then get in touch with the feeling. And it's also about A, whose luggage are you carrying? Is it whose baggage are you carrying? Is it somebody else's baggage, or is it your monogram luggage that you are habitually holding on to? Are you addicted to dysfunction? Are you afraid that you don't have what it takes to function at the highest possible frequency and vibration at any time? So these are, and the good news is, as Dr. B said earlier, because the universe is speeding up, this don't have to take 10 years no more. It don't have to take 52 books. It just doesn't. We are living in a time and a space where if you can see it and feel it, you can create it. See it, feel it, create it. That's what I would offer us for consideration today.
You said something earlier that was hugely powerful and effective. You had a money mantra. And I didn't catch it because it was moving so fast.
Abundance is my birthright. Abundance is my birthright.
No, I attract money, something.
Oh, easily and effortlessly under grace, because abundance is my birthright.
Okay, can we say that? I attract
money. Well, we start with abundance is my birthright, because the universe don't know nothing about money. It knows abundance, it knows wealth, it knows prosperity. So abundance is my birthright. I attract money easily and effortlessly under grace. I attract peace easily and effortlessly under grace. I attract love easily and effortlessly under grace, because all of those are components of abundance, an abundance of peace, an abundance of joy, an abundance of wealth, an abundance of money. Yeah. You were talking about Stuart Wild's book, which is a classic now, say it. Say Stuart Wild's book. Can't afford. No, that's not can't afford the luxury. My memory is taking a nap right now. It'll be back in a little bit. But
the life was never meant to be a struggle.
Right. And another one I would add to that one, I think I said it last time, happy pocket full of money. Happy pocket full of money. Oh my God. That's the name of the book. How do you make your pockets happy? And how do you fill them with money if that's what you want? So I've got happy pockets full of money because abundance is my birthright. And I attract money, wealth, abundance easily, effortlessly under grace. Listen, take those 3 breaths, 4, 2, 6 out, 3 times a day, and say that affirmation 3 times a day. And let's see if you don't get that house with the 5 bedrooms on the beach with the land for you and your cats or whatever.
And as I mentioned earlier, the world we live in is not solid.
No.
This is a dimension. It's actually a matrix of the mind.
Yes.
And there are 144,000 possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Just like they say, well, this is a cancer gene, right? So I told the doctor, I said, well, okay, this is a cancer gene, but it hasn't expressed itself as cancer.
That's right.
because it also has 144 other things
Option.
it could express itself as. You see,
Hmm.
so you have a condition, right? That condition can express itself as something that you use to help you. Like my life, the things that I went through, because I've been through many, many challenges, many challenges. I used each of those to catapult me into who I am. That's why I can speak the way I speak and do what I do, because I've been on the other side. I tell people, I'm not worried about hell. I've been there.
Okay.
I talk directly to the devil, but the devil, is easily outwitted. Read the book
I
Outwitting the
will do
Devil
that. Yeah, that's right.
by Napoleon Hill. And the devil says, look, the religions, the school, your hospitals, your politics, I created that.
Yeah.
That is not the original creator God. I created all that. And so the guy says, well, Mr. He has to call him Your Majesty, because the devil says the only way that you can. I love the book on tape. The only way that I can answer your questions is if you call me Your Majesty. And he said, why should I call you Your Majesty? Because I'm in control of almost everything, as you'll soon see. So he starts asking him these questions. And after, basically we realize that the devil is in control of most of this. The guy says, well, what can I do to get out of your clutches? How can I make you go away? He says, well, the answer is very simple. It's very easy, but not easy to remember. Don't drift.
Right.
If you drift away from your chief goal, your telos, the thing that you would like, you have to feel it, hear it, and see it as if it's here now. You have to repeat that every single day. Before you go to bed, repeat it. Never mention what you in no way like, because you're now mentioning something that's going to cause you to drift. Don't ask your friends. Don't ask your neighbors. Ain't that a song?
Yeah.
don't,
Well,
don't ask your neighbors. Don't ask your friend. You got to go into what you would like beyond, anything else, because that chronic servitude syndrome will haunt you. You don't have to serve anybody but you right now, so that you can be in a position to throw the rope back to possibly help some others.
yeah.
So, no drifting. If you're going to be on this next level or reach towards this next level, if you choose that, because you can stay where you're at if that's what you like. If it's comfortable there, it's okay. Buy some new furniture, you know what I'm saying? And decorate the old place if that's what you like. But to move to this next level, you're going to have to choose, and no drifting. That's the law.
Yes.
That is the law. You don't drift. You stay focused on the goal, no matter how much opposition you've been through.
Yeah.
No matter how much the devil wants you to drift and eat that thing you shouldn't eat. Hang with those people that you shouldn't be hanging with. Make love to those folks who are going to haunt you for the rest of your life. If you choose that, it's okay. But stay focused so that there is no drifting from your new goal, your new telos.
Dr. B, can I just take us out because our time
Yes,
is going
please.
to run out soon?
Yes.
So, all who are here, thank you for being here. I want to get us back again, feet flat on the floor. If you're sitting in lotus position, spine erect, spine erect. We're going to go into the third level so we know that we can create. We're going to inhale for 4, hold for 2, and exhale for 6. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath and savor the breath. And exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And relax. Relax. Listen inward. See if you can feel or sense your heart beating. And again, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2. And exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And relax. And find the natural rhythm of your breath. Whatever it is, find your inhale. Where it meets your exhale, let it out. Find your inhale, and where it meets your exhale, surrender it. And as you're breathing, hold this thought form. Abundance is my birthright. Breathe it out into your universe, into your metaverse. Good. Again, breathe it in. Abundance is my birthright. Breathe it out. Breathing in, I give myself permission to experience abundance. And breathe it out. I give myself permission to create abundance. Breathe it out. Breathing in, I give myself permission to experience radical health. And breathe it out. And breathing in, I give myself permission to experience divine alignment. And breathe it out. And breathing in, abundance is my birthright. Breathe it out into the universe. Breathing in, radical health is my birthright. And breathe it out. Breathing in, divine alignment is my birthright. And breathe it out. And just sit in that. Allow it to penetrate every atom, every molecule, every cell in your being, in your body. Allow those words to fall fresh on every system, organ, structure in your body. And on this final inhale, breathe in, the struggle is over. Hold that. And breathe out. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Years and terraces.
Thank you. Please go over to Iyanla's website. I have it up here. Check out her workshops and books and lessons. And she has many, 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 many decades of experience and things that she can help you through in your life. And it's good to have the female essence that can teach us. A lot of people keep saying, well, in this conscious thing, it's mostly men. Well, no, there's women, and you have to go search for them, you see. And I just want to thank you for all that you've been bringing to the universe as a teacher, as a guide for all these years. And, for those of you who go to her website, take time and check her out, see what she's doing, where she's going, and travel light. Don't bring all that luggage.
And I say the same thing about you. I tell the women who've been with me for years, go over and see what Dr. B is doing, because to hear it from the mind, the divine mind, the masculine perspective is what we need for balance and power. This society wants male and female to be in competition, but this right here is orgasmic. This is the father and the mother, the mind and the heart coming together to create, and that's really what we want to see more of in life. So I thank you. I honor you. Thank you for inviting me to your platform. Mo dupwe to you, Omi Funke. Mo dupwe to you. And I look forward to it. So we've done tears, TEARS. Now we've done tears. Remember, get clear about where you are, and terraces. And we're going to keep on moving up this ladder together. Yeah.
So we'll be doing another one soon. So beautiful. So stay in touch. Go over to elevationtime.com. Get on the email list. Also, we have classes and workshops. A lot of folks were asking about God Power. The blueprint for God Power 1 and 2 are available still at elevationtime.com. I was talking to Billy Carson today. He says to tell you, hey, we're going to be doing something really strong.
I know. He's got to come on with us one day.
Well, he will.
Okay.
That may be an idea for the next one.
Okay.
But, also, we're doing God Power 3. It's going to be a live presentation. We're not sure where it's going to be. It's going to be in 2005. probably around February or March or something. So
25, 2020.
25. I don't know what year it is. It's all dimensions. So be ready for that. And there's classes and workshops. And for those of you who are looking for the elevated total body program, which is the program that you're taking right now, to help get rid of your mental, physical, and spiritual parasites that may be eating you alive. It's at elevationtime.com. So we'd like to thank all of you for being in the place that you are, and the situations that you think are yours, they're ours.
Yes.
Let's start taking the word me and replace it with we. Let's stop saying I, my so much and say we, because we're all sharing in this stuff. We're all here together to do the alchemy of transformation, to do the calcination and burn off all the things we no longer desire in our life. That's what we're here to do. So let's stop complaining about it and let's start getting busy. Let's get busy being, doing, and having by letting go of all the luggage that is no longer ours.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Let's travel light.
Okay.
Travel light. Give yourselves a round of applause. Celebrate your new life.
Yeah.
Even celebrate the small successes. Otherwise, the big ones can never happen.
Wow.
Okay. Thank you very much, Iyanla. We'll talk soon.
I'll see you next time.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank everyone. Thank yourselves.